UnDaoDu to you and yours. I'm here in the heartland of Trumpland, social distancing myself. And ever since the pandemic happened, I've been kind of like, what the fuck world? What's going on? How do we, how do we move forward from this? Because the pandemic is so overwhelming. And to watch it just kind of sweep the world the way it has in just the last month is just insane. And knowing from historical data and facts and science that this thing is not going to be going away. It's not like it's a hurricane, it's come and it's gone. You know, Implementing solution for 8 billion people is not something done easily, and it takes time. And not only that, my mind is going to Africa, to India, to all the small, all the, all of the poor people out there, the 40% of Americans that don't have health insurance. How the heck do we, provide their needs? This is the first domino, in my opinion, in hindsight. That's what I thought. I mean, it's all over. Game is over. Our entire global capitalism experiment that in many point of view started as part of the first industrial revolution, which is steam, that then got power with the second industrial revolution, which was electricity, that led to the internet, right, and the information age, and then the information age led to big data, and big data has led to IoT, and now it's all merging with AI. We have reached the end of, in many respects, the runway for capitalism. And I'll be honest, I'm not depressed or anything, but I'm like, is this the kind of world I want to live in? And if so, what the heck is it going to be, and how's it going to be? And there's so many things and stuff that has to change. And what's frustrating is for the last, since, January of coming here, since February 2nd, you can watch my video, 0202 2020, it dawned on me on the solution. And my solution was on basically kind of a grassroots, but I knew it'd be slow. But I thought, you know what? Maybe we can just slowly bring this thing about, even though I'm like, I can focus on it. But in my heart of hearts, I knew that ushering in the solution, how I planned it, with hemp and everything else, would have been too slow. But I said, what the heck? I'm having fun. I'm going to do it anyway. And then I realized that the pandemic, in a way, is a vehicle to bring about social beneficial capitalism. And pivoting from launching the Ganj token to launching the SocD, social distancing token, which is simply a token of appreciation for your help in saving lives by social distancing, for providing a tool that companies can use, like restaurants and flea markets and craft fairs and so on, so we can go back to socializing again. And and the reality is there's even deeper ramifications, because governments and everything else, Google, Apple, all these individuals are looking to monetize and take more of our data. We all know now because of what's his name, Edward, whatever, the guy who leaked the NSA consultant, Snowden, or I can't think of his name, that the cell phones are basically taking all our data. And we have to push back. Our personal information data, if they're going to sell it, we should be paid for it, right? Why are companies basically, using our data? And this leads me to the thing that I realized coming down, and why I have such urgency with this, solution, is because governments are going to use it as a means to gather, control, and know everything we're doing. So we have to social distance, but we need the data in order to know if we're social distancing well enough. We need the social distancing because we know that we can't get the testing. We need the social distancing because we don't want to overwhelm our hospitals. Social distancing is such a core thing, but we're new at it. We don't have any tools for it. We don't know, how well we're doing it. And what I propose is a very simple solution. So simple, in fact, that we could have it up and running within weeks. So simple, in fact, that it could, with the help of developers around the world, we can get it out there. Now, the key is this, and the key thing is obviously personal information data, making sure that that data is yours, making sure that it's written in such a way that it's only releasing aggregated data. And it provides you the choice whether you want to aggregate your data with the rest of the folks, right? Certain things, obviously, like distance, I mean, certain things of, the general aggregate data is fine. But allowing individuals to monetize their data is really what this is about too, and protecting their data. Um, because if we don't do it, if we don't bring this about, then ultimately someone else will, and it will all be about taking and using and manipulating our data. So the the idea, I have to give a kudos out to Geo. Geo is basically our head of global marketing, and for this project, he is. We're all volunteers. No one's paid for this, right? We're all social. We're all stuck at home. We don't have a big bankroll. If someone wants to come forward and say, "Hey, I want to, seed this," that'd be great. And we could, I'd be open to that. But in my opinion, at this stage, what we need to do is build the app, get it out there, and get it building. And there's no better way to do it than actually with a hackathon. And Gio actually was like, why didn't he come to me? I was just at this big, it was EU versus versus virus, right? EU versus virus hackathon. So I need to change the title. EU versus pandemic. All right, I put SocD versus virus, right? SocD, social distancing versus virus. So social distancing versus pandemics. And the idea is that we will launch this global hackathon in partnership with other hackathon folks, and have folks building the app and building in such a way that's modular. There's a lot of different things that we could say, okay, what else would we want on this app? And creating the API system that we can tie to the app. So think of it like this. Think of it that you would just browse a library of things and you can customize and kind of like adding, components to your website. You'll be able to add components to your your app, right? SocD. So SocD is completely modular. The core of it is simply social distancing, but then there is all these other things that could be added to it in order to make it expand it. So users would have complete flexibility on on adding that information. One of the core things that we're is the database, right? And I want to talk a little bit on how I perceive kind of rolling things out. All these things can be built on free databases that are out there, that I think will host about 10,000 people or 2,000, whatever, right? Test it out. And then once we have traction, once individuals start participating on it, then we can start ranking up the database so it can hold more, right? And looking for sponsors and everything else. So this is only day 3 of me launching this, and unfortunately, I didn't have enough of the idea together for the EU versus virus. But let's do SocD versus pandemic in the month of May. Tell me what you think.